nervous now?
I'm always nervous.
Well, I know you're always nervous, but that's why we're doing this, to build confidence. Also, it'd be fun.
Look, I even changed this to the angry face.
I wish you would change that more often. I wish you were just like, here's my mood today, so I wouldn't have to play 30 questions and then 30 more. It would just make it way easier.
Sometimes I just don't know, like.
Sometimes you don't know your mood. You just got to get like a third one so you can put it on top and be like, I don't know what mood I'm in today.
Like I have to think about it like very carefully sometimes.
It's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't think about it. Like now there's just an awkward silence because you're thinking about your mood. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, what mood am I in?
No, I do that. I know that on stream too. Like I'll just go like head into thoughts, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be like paying attention and doing things. It's like I guess it's disassociating or something. But
I've noticed that watching like a couple of your streams, not even like on games that require a lot of focus, but every once in a while you're just like, and you just stare at games, and I'm like, all right, but what about
and
the
my
people
eye color
talking
is
to
so
you?
light, it can be really creepy, especially because I use a green screen. Like when I used to use the PlayStation camera to record with a green screen, my eyes are so light, like you would just see the game I was playing in my eyeballs. But when I get really close up to the camera, I've noticed like they're so pale, it's like the Draugr staring at you or something.
The Draugr? Is that what you're going
yeah,
for?
I'm just like,
you're like, I know what this. Oh gosh, that's an intense glare on your.
Oh yeah, glasses. Sorry.
You were like,
have you seen my Steam profile picture?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
what is it?
It's a clip from a stream where I was playing Alien Isolation. It's a clip from a stream, and my eyes are just like bugging out of my head. And I'm like, that's my Steam profile pic because somebody was like, I'm gonna screenshot this.
I'm gonna screenshot this. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
You fucking addict. That's fine. You just smile. You're like, ha, ha, ha.
Drinking coffee makes me easier to live with.
Why are you not like injecting it? I don't understand.
Oh man, I heard that through your ears too. Sorry.
Should I? That's fine. I figure there's for those who don't know, we are in the same room. She's like right over there, and I'm right over here. So
that direction.
She's bad at this thing, but she's sitting next to that tree that's in the background. That's her little desk right there. Anyway, so every once in a while, she's gonna get out of control and just start screaming at me.
I can't be tamed.
Not abusively, no. That's while the cameras aren't rolling. And so she.
Like that on the internet.
I'm just it's a joke.
You never know what people do. Then why am I the one always going to work with bumps and bruises and cuts, and then I have to explain to my coworkers all these crazy stories about the dumbest ways I've injured myself.
Because my bruises and cuts, they get covered up, and second of all, I work from home, so I don't have any coworkers to look out for me. All right, that's why.
Yeah, no. When I was telling someone a story about, so I guess then I should tell the story. So I like kicked you the other day. Cut my foot open on your sharp ass toenail.
She tried to blame me for it. Like you blamed me for that.
Why are your toenails so sharp?
I was literally standing still and you kicked the shit out of me and you were like, I cut myself. And I'm like, yeah, you did. I don't know.
But no, like it started bleeding. Like I had to wear bandages for like 4 days.
Yeah, but I had to clean blood out of the carpet. Thank you. Like
thanks for doing that. I had to go to work and my foot was hurting. And someone asked me to tell them the story, and I was like,
where?
Because I had just told them the story a few weeks ago about how I was like piggyback riding on you and you were walking around the apartment like a gremlin and I like injured my elbow. And I'm like, these are starting to sound like really
it's not my fault that your bones stick out so far. Like that hallway, like entryway that we walked through, it's like 5 feet wide. Like I don't understand how you hit. Like I was in the center and you were just like chicken wing and like right into the wall. It didn't make any sense.
It hurts so bad. God, it hurts so bad. But yeah, no, it's just I'm just really clumsy and I just injure myself in really funny ways, but it sounds pretty unbelievable after a few times. You're like, that's like the 4th time you've bruised your shin on the doorway, or like you dropped a box on your face. Like that sounds a little sus. And I'm like, no, I am that stupid.
Your coworker's just sitting there going like, how many doorways do you have? Like, I don't understand.
But it's just because we're having fun. Like we're having fun with each other, and not paying attention.
It's real fun. And then she's like, why are you so endangering me? And I'm like, what? Like, my foot hurts. I'm like, okay.
Okay, but you need to file your toenails. Why are they so sharp?
Well, excuse me. Why are you kicking my self-defense mechanisms? I don't understand.
You are very safe from predators.
Yeah. I
got built-in steel-toe boots.
I saw a clip on YouTube the other day that said chicken wings are just like the top of evolution that we can reach, right? Because we have taken the wings of an animal just that we hunted, and we were just like, you know what? Let's add hot sauce to it. The thing that plants develop to keep people from eating them. And we're just going to eat them both together for fun. Like, not even out of necessity,
I don't understand people torturing themselves. Like, I get liking spicy stuff, but when it comes to hot things like that,
I was thinking I thought you were just like, yeah, I saw John down the street flogging himself earlier. Like, I was very confused. You're talking about spicy things, okay?
Yeah, I was continuing off of your story, not just listen, and here's some BDSM. Like,
you can't be jumping from topic to topic. All right, the way your brain works, you could have gone there. I have no doubt that you thought of it as well.
But I can like explain my thought process, though, is the thing. Like, I can tell you how.
Yeah, but we just don't have the time until the Earth explodes for you to get that like thought together to tell me. So
we can't talk about the Earth exploding. That's a whole different set of anxiety.
Yeah. I saw a fact about that the other day. You would have you don't want to hear the fact? I saw your face. You were like, wait a minute. I mean,
what's the fact?
I think the fact was meant to like reassure people.
Nothing reassures me.
Right. It was I forget the second number, but the first number was if you lived to be 100, you would have to live to be 100. I think it was like 50 million times before the sun was supposed to explode, something like that. It's some crazy number, and I was like, I don't even think I'm making it to 100, so I'm not worried about it.
No, people like make statistics like that, and I feel like they think it's comforting, but for people with like irrational anxiety like mine, it's like, no, I'm still gonna worry about the heat death.
It was such a fun video because it was two parts. That was the first part, and they were like, people are worried about dying from the sun exploding, but really, and then they gave that fact about the timeline, like it's forever away. You won't even like your grandchildren's grandchildren will still be telling stories about it. And then the next fact, like part 2 of it, was just like if we all got wiped out, or if an electromagnetic something or other came towards the Earth, we would just all be dead within minutes, and nobody would know. And we'd be like, I was like, these 2 facts that you've given, like, why would you give these 2 facts back to back? And I was like,
that's why it's like they said, like, if the sun went out, we wouldn't know for like 8 minutes until it stopped reaching the Earth. And that the concept of that is just terrifying to me. I guess it's better if you don't see it coming. It's just like, okay, all humanity done it once, but
they're like,
it's
planet
just too vast for my brain to comprehend, I think.
Yeah, I still like the jackhammer fact about the sun. That's still one of my favorites.
That you can tell it if you like, but it makes my skin crawl.
How does it make your skin? All right, so like
my ears are off center.
If sound could travel through a vacuum, then the sun, like the sound from the sun, would also reach Earth, right? And it would sound like a jackhammer constantly, like outside everywhere. But since sound travels so much slower than light, if the sun were to explode or go out and not like explode the Earth with it, the light would go out in 8 minutes, but the sound would continue for 33 years. So you would just hear the sound in the dark for 33 years.
The sun is an eldritch horror. That's all.
Suppose we should do an introduction at some point. You've just been like glancing over it, and I was like, I don't want to stop you because you don't normally talk this much, Which is just
trying to be prepared.
Which is just like, high hopes for the future of the podcast. Really. But welcome to Mindless Prattle. It's our brand new podcast. Our first one. Well, my first one. Have you been on a podcast before? Have you been lying to
I
me?
thought about making one, and
Oh.
I've been on a game show on Twitch.
She's going off again. We'll be back to the
I've
intro
been invited
later.
to podcasts, but I've never been on my own podcast.
See, these are the thought process we don't hear. I'm your host, Jordan. With me is my other host,
Ripley.
There you go. Don't worry, we'll get it down. Eventually, the timing won't be awkward at all. Below us, you can find our Twitter handles. I'm not on Twitter as much as she is, so if you
I'm on
want
Twitter chronically.
If you want more updates, especially from her, go on there, follow her, do all that fun stuff.
Please.
All right.
Shameless self-inserts.
No need to sound like me. Like, that's crazy. No need to be desperate on here. Okay, that's
Oh yeah, I make a lot of facial expressions when I laugh, so deal with it.
Yeah, just when you laugh. There is no set outline or topics for this podcast, as you might have been able to discern from the first 10 minutes of random thoughts. But we are going to be doing this weekly, or at the very least bi-weekly, depending on the schedule. I got a lot of shit coming up in the next year. So, so we'll be doing that. But, yeah, I think it'll be a fun experience, and we hope you enjoy it as well.
I do love talking.
Do you? Like, whenever you come home from work, you're just kind of like, don't touch me. Talk to me.
That's different. That's different. I need decompression time.
Yeah, but you don't tell me that. You just like walk in, you're like, hello, and you're still like half in between customer service mode and fuck off mode. So like you walk in the door and you're just like, hello, and I'm like, hello, and then you just kind of leave, and I'm like, should I say more?
When I get home, I don't want to come home and be like, hey, like, you know, like even if I feel like that sometimes, I want you to know that I'm excited to see you and that like I'm happy to see you. So I start to sound a little happy when I come in because I'm like, I do miss you during the day. I like spending time with you. I like chatting with you. Obviously, we're doing this fucking podcast together.
No, that's just a facade. All right, you walk in the door and you just smile and wave. You're like a penguin from Madagascar. All right. You smile and wave, you walk past, and then I turn around to say something like bright and cheery, and you're just like, I hate you.
No,
Stop talking. And then
there are some days that I'll be texting you about how awful my day is, and then I get home and you're like, oh, I want to talk, and I haven't talked to anybody all day because I work from home. So like I
talk to people all the time. What do you mean?
But then I get home and you're just so excited to talk to me, and I feel bad that I've just had you day from hell, and I'm like,
I'm in meetings all day, but my meetings are not the same as like anybody else's meetings because I just test video games all day and all we do is bullshit about video games. So like that's, you know, like a great work day. And then you show up and I'm like, I will improve my mood. And you're just like, not on my watch.
Listen.
That I like that catchphrase of yours. It's very intuitive, reminds me to use my ears, really. Because otherwise, I think we would have broken up a long time ago. If I just wouldn't have had constant reminders to listen, I feel like I would have just been like in jail by now. Probably.
No, so I say it to friends too. And
School would have been
so
different.
You don't say anything else. You don't argue past the listen. You just stop and we move on.
Oh, we just stop and move on. Okay, I'm stopping now.
No,
This podcast is going to be very audio friendly, in case anyone's wondering. There is a visual portion, in case you found this just on the audio half.
I'm very over-exaggerated, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We were talking about this just before we started when we did a little test. Our cameras are not the greatest. You will see us go like in and out of focus quite a little bit, especially if we move rapidly. Or scratch our underarms, you know, either one. And
I had a little itch.
So did I. What do you mean? I think if you are ever curious about Ripley's mood, just look at the little blue or purple squishy behind her. Right now she's angry and kicking trash bags. I don't know if that picked
they're not
up.
Trash bags.
Oh, I don't know if it picked up, but I heard it.
I did hear it. I don't know if it picked up on there either, but they're aprons.
Oh, she's kicking aprons. That's good. What did they do to you?
I just have them sitting there because I need them for a project I'm working on.
Oh, right. Good project, and
I don't want to talk about it. It's work related.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so that's what I cut it off there. I was like, yeah, that's all the detail you need.
That's all the detail. You could have just said, "I'm not talking about it." So that's fine too.
Yeah, in the middle of our practice, I'm not talking about it.
That's not like
Do the Wednesday Addams eyes.
Not like aggressively. You could have been just like it's work related. I don't want to talk about it, which is what you did. But I just had to like ask about it for a little prod here and there, a little poke. I'll get the kettle prod out later. It's fine.
And always poking things.
I know. It's my way of being. You can't challenge it.
So I was trying to tell you a story earlier.
Yes.
And you were like, no, you can't tell me things yet.
That's because you did not stop and say, listen, and then stop talking again.
Collaborate.
Stop and collaborate.
No, so I was thinking, so we've been watching the show Wednesday on Netflix like anybody else. I wish we would watch it faster.
No, nobody else watches that show. It's just us.
Everybody's already finished watching it. I want to sit there at the done.
You only let me watch like one episode a night. I don't understand.
No, you.
Like
no,
I work.
I want to binge watch it, and you're like, no, we have to go to bed and keep a sleep schedule.
Wow, I don't appreciate this gaslighting. I work at 11 a.m. All right, I have no issue staying up late. You work at like 4:30 to 6 a.m. every day. All right, so I don't think that anyone here will believe that I'm the one trying to go to bed early. I think it is you.
No, I'm more than willing to stay up. I'm like, I don't give a shit about my day at work tomorrow, And then he's like, you're gonna be cranky if you don't go to bed now, and I don't want to deal with you.
I don't know who everyone's gonna believe me, but you.
Anybody who's seen my Twitch knows exactly how much you bully me.
I bully not. What is this bullying? You're the one keeping me from watching Wednesday and then complaining about not having seen it.
So I was gonna say, like we're watching it, and there's moments where like the character Enid will do something, and he's like, "That's you." And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I definitely dress like more Wednesday-ish. Like my hair is just my hair. I don't do anything to it. But, I wear mostly just black and white. But my keyboard and my desk and my accessories—they're all Enid. They're all like everything's super colorful and girly." And then I have like space themed mouse pads, a pink. I have the Razer Quartz keyboard and mouse and headphones.
When I said that, I wasn't really referring to her color choices. I was more referring to her just like hearing a random like thought of what was it during the episode with the boat race for the Poe Cup. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm going to cry because you said you'd join our team. That's you. Like, that's...
Spoilers for Wednesday, guys.
How is that? That they do a race? Yeah. No school does competitions.
Yeah. But you're right, though. Like, somebody invited me to do something the other night, and I'm 25 years old. I cried a little bit. I was like, somebody wants to hang out with me?
See? I told you.
I'm soft.
It was very nice of them, and you had a very good time.
It was very
I'm proud
fun.
of you.
We played Cards Against Humanity, and people did some messed up things.
Like, do you not know these people? Let's sit down in a room and play the worst game to get to know someone.
I knew two of them, and I've met the other person that was there. Like,
you just passed them by, and then you were just like,
no, he also works for our company, so like I've seen him like getting product and stuff like that. But he doesn't work in my area or location. So we played, and man, these people are messed up. And
yeah, I mean, look where they work.
One of them's going to be a history teacher, so we all kept playing like history cards for her because she was like, she wasn't choosing what she thought was funny, right? Like we put like the Underground Railroad or something was an answer, and she was like, the Underground Railroad wasn't really around in that time period, So we all started playing like serious history cards to try to get her to pick our cards, but we all did it at the same time, and she was like, you all put this just because I said I'm going to be a history teacher and I like history. And we were like, yeah, those were the only cards you were picking. So she's like, well, now I'm not picking that one, It
you play to the person. Like, there's only two plays. There's only two ways to play Cards Against Humanity. You can play to your level of funniness and everyone's just like, God damn, I didn't know that about you, sir.
And then they just have to give it to you.
Or you can give them like their level and they're just like, I like this answer because it's about me. And then that's the way to play. If you would like to win, go with option 2. If you'd like to have the best time out of anybody and just get a lot of looks, go with option 1, you know?
Well, it also depends because, like some of our friends and family, like option 1 is what most, like we're all really dark humored for the most part.
That's because we already know each other and I don't care about your approval anymore. You're stuck with me. I will play the darkest shit and guess what? You're still coming home. Like it's not it's not a worry.
That makes me sound like a bad person.
What do you mean? It makes you say
like, oh, you could just do whatever you want and I'll be like, okay, honey.
Yeah. The truth is often dark.
I think things are often like uplifting, and I can't get my words together for that sentence. But you know what? I think things are mostly positive and people are mostly good.
You know you work in customer service, right?
I know.
Oh, okay.
I still feel that way. So me and my friends actually talk about this a lot. Like one of my friends.
Customer service? That's good.
Well, one of my friends, she's like, I think people are just bad and like they'll do bad things no matter what, and I'm like, I think everybody has the same capacity for good or bad, and it's just your life experiences and things that happen to you that like, propel which way you go. Because I think one way to prove that is like sociopaths, for example, or people. You're not supposed to say that anymore. You're supposed to say it's what is the
psychopaths?
No, what's the actual diagnosis? Antisocial personality disorder?
I didn't know they changed that. When did they change that?
Because there's a lot of people who don't like being called psychopaths because they're not out killing people or doing bad things. Like they live normal, productive lives, but they don't feel empathy and they don't really care about others and they can manipulate.
So they're just a subcategory of sociopath. Got it.
But they're sociopaths and
they're like the functioning sociopaths of society. Is that what it is?
Yeah, like they're not like murdering people. They're not like doing things like Psycho or American Psycho or anything like that. But I think I read an article on Reddit about someone the other day who lives with this, and she was like, I think the problem is when people don't take responsibility. So she's like, I was raised in a family like that was very great. Like they got her help very early on. Like they noticed something was wrong. But she said at the end, she was like, the people in my life will always have to protect themselves from me. She's like, even though I'm doing everything I need to do and I'm like in therapy and like I take classes and like, I have learned how to have empathy for people, even if I don't feel it. She was like, my family's always going to have to protect themselves from me because I will always like naturally want to manipulate people. I will always naturally want to do things that benefit me. So I think it's a really cool subject. Sorry, that kind of got off on a tangent there, but
for those of you who don't know, what did you major in again in college?
I have a degree in psychology.
Oh, okay. I never would have guessed that. So, I mean, thank goodness you said something.
I think stuff like that is really interesting. And I usually don't talk a lot about it because society has very strong feelings and perceptions about certain disorders and things. Right. So I don't like to talk about it because I don't want to offend anybody. Because I get it. Like certain things are very like maybe triggering to some people and invoke a lot of emotion. But I do like learning about it still, even if I'm not like working in a field with it anymore.
See, and I just
felt like really
don't.
shaky. I think the coffee kicked in.
In case you couldn't tell from that heated story that lasted 12 seconds. I just don't think I could work in customer service. I did it once. I sold firearms for like 3 months. I hated most of the people that talked to me. Now, they weren't like bad customers, but like it's a job where you get firearms pointed at you an awful lot. And every time I'd be like, let's not do that. And they would just be like, what? There's no ammo in it. And I'm like, yeah, but no. Let's try not to.
Yes, that's the point.
I'd be like, yeah, but you're holding it. And you've just told me that you've never held a gun before. So you don't know that. But like if I worked at like any other customer service job, I think I would just be fired like immediately.
It's hard.
I just don't care about people's feelings that don't matter. And I think the main thing with that is don't be a dick, because I will be a dick to you. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like if Starbucks had a job where all they did, like I was just like the patsy of Starbucks, I will do that job, right? Like if I could just sit there and instead of a manager, like if a customer comes in, has like some screaming problem because their coffee was made wrong, right? And the person behind the counter was just like, let me get the manager. And they really come get me, right? if I was that position, I would go out there and I'd just be like, what the fuck do you want? And I would just be...
You would hella get fired.
I'd be the patsy. And then then the actual manager would come out, right? They would be like, I'm sorry for this employee's behavior. And then they would fire me. They'd be like, you're fired, get out of here. And I would leave and go sit in my car for about 5 minutes. And when that person left with their coffee, I would come back in and go sit in the back again, wait for the next person.
It honestly doesn't happen that often.
Because then like the store gets respect, the manager gets that respect, right? The customer feels like they were validated. They think, haha, I got that person fired because they were being a dick. And then the next time they come in and be a dick, I will walk out there again and be like, yeah, they hired me back because I'm so good. And that's what and they're just gonna be like, well, I don't understand. They'll get flustered and walk out.
But I think I'm
That's
really good at
job.
Customer service because I genuinely enjoy helping people. I like helping people have good days and having conversations with them. You know, I'm not super social outside of work, so like a lot of my socialization is there.
I like helping people too. Like if people like if someone's struggling or like ask for money or something, like, you know, I'll do that. But like I'm not gonna be like, oh, your coffee tastes slightly bad and now you're pissed about it. How about you wait 10 seconds for a new coffee? Like it doesn't like there's not.
I love your reasoning there. Homeless people, yeah, I'll help them, but fuck regular
like,
people.
It's not fuck regular people.
better.
It's fuck assholes who don't care enough to just be like, hey, my coffee was made wrong. Can you redo it or see it? Like something's wrong with it. Like if you're fine with it, if you're like, oh hey, our steak came out the wrong like fucking temperature. Can you cook it again? They'd be like, sure. But if someone's like, hey, asshole, you made this wrong, I'd be like, hey, asshole, how about I slap you across the face with it and you can go pick it up off the fucking curb, get the fuck out. Like, that's what's going to happen. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you're being a dick. Leave. And that's the end. We're going to be... You just stopped talking. What happened?
Oh, yeah. Every time I try to speak, I'm like interrupting you or you keep going. So I wanted to wait until you were done because I didn't want to interrupt you.
This will be the podcast of infinite pauses. Ready? Oh, you ruined it. How do you? How dare you?
but like sometimes it is hard because like some people just want to complain. You know, like you'll be like, okay, do you want me to do this? You want me to do this? You want me to fix this? And they're like, no.
That's fine if people want to complain.
Why are you fucking telling me then? Like, if you don't want me to do anything about it, you just want me to be like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, some people really just want you to be like, I'm sorry. That's
fine if you want to complain, but complain in a way that doesn't make the other person feel less than fucking human. For like putting an extra scoop of sugar in your fucking coffee. Like, you can fuck off, man. Like,
I had a great interaction with, so we have like what we call kids rush in the afternoon. And this girl, I finished her drink and gave it to her. And she was like, oh, that's a lot of whipped cream. And I was like, oh, do you want me to take some off?
That's a lot of whipped cream.
She looks literally, she looks so upset, right? And I was like, do you want me to take some off? Like, I can do that. And she was like, oh yeah, please. Like, I could tell she kind of felt bad for asking, but you know, I just scraped like half of it off. And then it didn't look super pretty. So I was like, do you want me to add more sprinkles? And she looks at it and she goes, yeah, you know, like she's a little embarrassed to ask.
That's one of those sociopaths. Like she was holding mace in her back pocket. And if you said no, she'd be like, how about you do it now?
She was like 12.
Oh,
but
all the more reason to give her mace.
So I put all these sprinkles on it and I give it to her and I turn away and I just hear her go, oh my God, this is so perfect. And it made my day.
And now every time she comes in, you're going to be like, oh, it's little sprinkles. And you take it a little off and you give her some extra sprinkles. She has manipulated you perfectly. Yeah, go ahead. You can argue.
She already paid for the beverage. It's not manipulation if she bought it, you know? Like, I'm just doing her a service at that point.
She just wants you to waste all your whipped cream. This is her 5-point plan. This is her 5-point plan.
My computer went to sleep.
Yeah, I can still. It still catches on me. That was her 5-point plan to ruin Starbucks as a whole.
What are the other 5 points?
1, walk in. 2, go to the counter. 3, buy the drink. 4, make them waste whipped cream. 5, smile and walk away. Come back another day. Like, that's it.
Yep.
5-point plan.
Destroyed the company. Obliterated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I think truly the worst part about moving up into management for any company is like sometimes like now, you know, like I used to when I was just like supervising, I used to be like, oh, they'd be like, oh, can I speak to a manager? And I'd go get my manager or another supervisor if I didn't want to deal with it, right?
I will get someone who cares.
People come to me and they're like, oh, you have to take care of this. Like, you're in charge. And I'm like, how about me in charge?
Yep.
And then I go out and I'm like, hi, how can I help you?
Like, what seems
In my
to
head,
be
I'm
the
always
issue?
like, be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. Like, that's how I do it.
Has anyone ever like thrown coffee back at you guys?
I haven't had it happen since we moved to we're in, Austin now, but when I was in Vegas, I've had people throw coffee at us. My best friend had somebody throw a salad at her. I had somebody throw our sugar shaker against the wall and break it. I found broken drug paraphernalia in the bathroom. Like,
You're
here
getting
it's
off
really
topic. My
not
question
bad.
was just if someone was angry and threw coffee at you, and you're like, "Yeah, there were drugs in the bathroom."
Yes, I have had
Okay.
someone try to throw coffee at me because I called security to get him out of our bathroom after he was in there for over an hour. And he had taken his tall coffee in the bathroom with him, and he comes out after I get security to knock on the door and come grab him. And I was very thankful that we had security there because, you don't ever, like, calling the cops is kind of like too much, I feel like.
Nah.
But having security guard just knock on the door like, hey, kind of helps a lot, especially as a small woman. But he comes out with this little coffee and he goes, I want a refund for this. And I was like, what?
It's cold. Well,
He's been in the bathroom for like an hour, and I had already like replaced his drink for free after like he had like an accident the first time or something with it, and I had replaced it for free because I was like, yeah, people spill things, whatever.
An accident?
Yeah, like he like knocked it over or something. This is like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, so vague details. But he like set his thing on the counter and got so mad at me that he like it was like he was gonna throw it at me, but the security guard was right behind him and he was like,
Security guard was like, how about we don't assault people today?
He was our best one. We had another one before him who would just like he would like knock on the door and be like, you can't be in here. And then he would just stand outside the bathroom door and wait for them.
You can't be in
He would like
here.
sit there and knock on
Please
the door and be like,
come
get out of the
out.
bathroom, get out of the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I mean that's your job. Do your job.
Because we had so many people doing drugs in our bathrooms down there. It was like 10 minutes away from the strip, so it's pretty crazy.
There you have it. Drugs are in Las Vegas. Now we know.
Who would have thought?
I know. Certainly not the people sitting on the sidewalk with signs that say, honestly, I need drugs. Like, my God, who gives money to people like that? Like, who are they trying to appeal to?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom, she's like, I think that's better because they're being honest. And I'm like, not all people who are like houseless, are looking for drugs.
Well, sure, there's that. But like, who are you, like your main like audience for that, right? Is like, are you trying to get sympathy from other drug users? Because like other drug users would arguably keep their money for drugs, right? So like,
depends on the type of drug, I really gotta say.
Sure. But then like the people who don't do drugs, I feel like a good majority of them don't encourage others to do drugs. So like your main audience is very small of like people who are doing drugs and just don't care if you also do drugs and they give you money, or you want people who don't do drugs and are just like, haha, my life's better than yours, have $1.
I think it's also trying to appeal to humor, like, oh, ha ha ha, like I didn't expect somebody to put something like that,
Well, see, that was the thing. It's different when the sign says, oh, I want money for drugs, and then there's the ones that are like, oh, I want money for what was it? We saw one that said they wanted money for marijuana, like right after it became legal in Vegas, and we were like, see, I guess that's better. I don't know, like at least it's for something legal at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anybody's putting up signs like need money for meth.
Need money for meth. No, but honestly,
be very honest, but
they're just like, I like your honesty, kid. Here's $50. I'll see you at the morgue. Like, I don't know.
But I guess it's probably also because those kinds of drugs are like easier to achieve. They're not as expensive.
I wouldn't know this. How do you know this?
I don't. I just know about how it's made from taking courses in psychology and things.
And TV, I watched Breaking Bad.
People. Yeah. I'm an expert on drugs. I watch TV. But a lot of things are just made out of like household cleaners and stuff. Please don't go and make drugs. If you watch this, like, do not make drugs. Don't look up how to make drugs.
What you should do is DM Bryan Cranston, because he has told in interviews several after Breaking Bad, he was told that he was actually he had learned how to make drugs, how to make meth for Breaking Bad, because they had to like walk him through the process so that it would look correct in the show. And I was like, you know what he didn't answer? Did he actually make meth? Like, did they actually make it while on the show? That'd be interesting. I don't know if I've seen that.
They would have severe brain damage.
Who would?
Anybody who's around meth cooking. My dad got offered to watch like a meth lab, he said, when he was in his 20s.
Watch it, like learn how to do it, or
like,
watch it
watch it
like for
cook.
security.
Yeah, like just watch it cook and like stay in their house for a few days.
Oh.
But he was like, yeah, they offered me a lot of money, but he was like, I knew it would like it literally like destroys your brain from inhaling the chemicals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it
why
puts
in the
holes
show they
your
wear
brain.
those masks, you know.
But
Gotta
even
wear
that,
gas
like,
masks.
I think most meth labs like blow up and because of the chemicals though, like the big ones. Like that's why you always
They
see the
don't
stories,
blow
like,
up
big...
from the fragrance of the fruit outside. What the hell are you talking
But-
about?
Oh god, I had a train of thought. I wanted to say something. It was about another Netflix show. Oh my gosh. Did you ever watch 13 Reasons Why?
No, I have not.
So when it first aired, like season 1, they showed a graphic depiction of this girl like unaliving herself.
Is that the technical term for it now? I
No,
don't keep
they
up
say
with
that's what
it.
they say in TikToks, get around the filters, and I like it better. I feel like the term suicide is very harsh, and I also feel like it could be very triggering.
Well, that's
so
what
I
we
don't
use
like to
it at work too, especially like if we're testing some game modes and then we're just like, all right, we all need to leave so the server can close down. And they're just like, we don't want you to leave the game though, because that's not natural. Why don't you go find a deep lake and unalive yourself? And you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it started as a way to get around TikTok's filter because anything with the word suicide would be like banned or whatever. But I just started saying it because it's much less harsh, and I feel like sometimes when I'm talking about things, I'm not trying to be so harsh.
I don't keep up with social things, as you can tell by anyone who looks at my year-long gap from Twitter. But so I just didn't know if that was like the more acceptable term now.
So
or
that's
like
just what I want to say.
Okay.
But so they graphically depict her like unaliving herself like in the bathtub, and like I apparently only 1% of people on Netflix have seen that. So I'm in like the 1% of people on Netflix who have been traumatized because they were asked to take it down by I think the American Psychological Society, actually. Because they were seeing a rise in children like killing themselves after this premiered because it causes
they were like children just follow TV.
Well, it's called popcorn suicide, you know, like they saw how to do it on this show because it was graphic. So they removed that scene.
Oh, they Googled how to unalive yourself and it popped up and they were like, Mom, what's the Netflix login? Like,
well, I mean, I would say a lot of parents probably aren't watching what their kids are watching. So you're a teenager, you watch a show that's geared towards teenagers and you haven't seen anything like that. That'd be pretty I mean, I've seen some terrible shit. Like I grew up on Tumblr, you know, like I was an original Tumblr
Do they
girl.
still have porn on Tumblr? Because wasn't that a big controversy a while back?
They actually just brought it back.
They were like, we're going to take it away. And then all of Tumblr
around
was
the
like,
time
you're
that
dumb.
Elon bought Twitter, they announced they were bringing back NSFW content because it never went away. Like they were like using this AI filter to get rid of stuff. And it did not work very well. Like it would ban like random pictures of nothing. And then like people were still posting sexual imagery. So they brought it back, but they brought in like new filters and like things to turn it off.
Oh, somebody just went like on a deep dive in Pornhub and was like, we need these filters. Is that what happened?
Maybe. I don't know. I think there are certain things like they need to address because I think a big issue on Tumblr is like there are a lot of kids on Tumblr. Like I was like 12, 13 looking at like pro eating disorder things and like sex things and like learned about BDSM way too young. And I'm 25 now. Like I'm fine. But like
old.
I know that these teenagers are being exposed to horrible things on there and they should do something about it. But I think they just take it a little too far in the wrong direction sometimes because these websites are not made for children, but children are on them anyways, you know?
No. I don't think you understand. There's a little button at the front that says, are you 18? You just click no if you're not 18. That's it.
Nobody would lie on the internet.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Your whole argument, broken. I win.
Just like my bank account.
Just like your what?
My bank account. I actually got paid this morning.
I did too.
Weird.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have a job. I've been lying
I mean,
for
don't you
years.
normally get paid on Fridays?
I did. No, I get paid tomorrow as well. No, I got
from the other one.
Yeah, well, no, I got reimbursed for the internet this morning.
Oh, good.
Get the internet. It's everything.
I just got a notification saying temps drop.
Temps drop? What the hell's that?
Temps drop. That's the weather notification. Temps drop.
Oh, like the temperature is dropping?
Yeah, dropping
It's winter.
Tomorrow.
Of course it's dropping. It dropped yesterday.
Just like,
what the heck you
it
mean?
was just like my computer suddenly like turned blue and I was like, temps drop.
Like what is Yesterday it was like a high of like 50 or 60 or something.
It felt really nice outside.
Today it's a high of 60. Tomorrow it's a high of 55. So I mean, like technically they're correct. It's going down slightly.
Going down for real.
It's gonna be cold when we go see my parents next weekend. By the way.
Oh yeah, the holidays are happening. They're happening so quickly. Oh my god.
They are. We're going out to see them next weekend, and then we're going to Vegas to see my dad, and I got to go back to Vegas again like a week later.
Yeah. I'm excited to go
thing.
back this time and have like a little bit more time to spend there.
I think it'll be fun. I don't know. It just depends on what we find to do. We gotta think of some things to do. If anyone has ideas of what to do in Vegas, just let us know.
It's not like we lived there for most of our lives or anything.
Right. We
I just don't like doing things, you know?
If you would like to send us messages or comments, concerns, I don't know, maybe you just hate me.
Queries, quandaries, conundrums.
Either way, whatever you want. You can go over to mindlessprattle.com, and there is a section to fill out a little contact form. You can send that to us. You can also leave us a voice message that's on there. I was tempted to leave one the other day just to see how they work and to also like surprise you a little bit when you logged on. Be like, we have a voice message, and it'd be exciting. And then I forgot, and here we are. So, so you'd like to do that.
I do that with your Twitch sometimes.
You do, like, you go on my Twitch?
Like, I'll do stuff anonymously, and then it'll send you, like, a note about it, and then you're like, babe, like, someone did this or someone did that. And I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing.
She's lying to me. You heard it here first. She just likes lying in this relationship.
You've been watching my Twitch since before I even told you it existed, so, like...
There's no need to bring up the past. We have... I don't know what you're talking about. That's all
a mutually supporting relationship.
That's just all speculation. You have no
fake news.
No proof. Yeah. One thing you'll learn listening to this is Ripley just loves to gaslight me about a lot of things. I'll just say something and she'll just keep going on the opposite.
No, okay, that's not true. So you know what?
It's starting already. You can hear it.
Shut up.
See, this is it. You can always tell.
He does this to me. He bullies me. You can always tell. And then I try to talk and he won't let me.
You can always tell it's happening because she'll try and silence me and she'll try and get her own narrative in, and I will just wait patiently. That's what happens. And then I'm just like, that's not true.
You make me so annoyed.
See, she's trying so hard not to talk over it, and she's just like, wait, did you? No.
You have to live with me. I hope you know.
Have to is a strong word.
Can you afford to move out?
Did you? All right, good talk. We have this pile of boxes sitting here, and it annoys me every day. But I know
pile of boxes.
I know I should get rid of it. Excuse me. I know I shouldn't get rid of it.
What are we doing with them?
Well, with Christmas, just around the month, I've been putting I have a bunch of gifts that I still need to wrap, and I have been tempted to just put them in random sized boxes, just for fun. So we've been keeping the boxes of like Amazon orders and things.
He's been keeping them.
What?
What?
Hmm?
What did you say, Punk?
No. Talking shit?
Always.
Yeah. Only when I'm awake. But so they just I like not having random trash around the apartment. So it's been really tough for me.
Yeah, he gets this beautiful Christmas tree background, and then I get these boxes, our shoes, and my angry little octopus.
I told you to face the other way. See? Look, now it's all good. Like if I turn, you'll just see the TV. And like the outside world just slightly.
I also folded this couch blanket really poorly earlier, so it would look nice on this camera.
I've folded the couch blanket. Yeah, you can't even see the presents over there because the little ottoman's in the way. That's fine.
And my laptop's right up there. Say hello to my laptop, everybody.
Yeah, that's where we store the porn.
Store the what?
What?
Did you say porn?
No, not on your laptop.
You have your own laptop.
Why would I keep porn on my own laptop? That just sounds crazy.
I saw this Reddit post the
I
other day.
feel
This
like
guy
you
was
were.
like, my grandpa just died, and I deleted his porn search history before anybody could see it.
I feel like you were never a teenage boy. I don't.
No, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get that experience.
Unfortunately, did you want that one? You wanted that
No.
experience?
No. Being a teenage girl was annoying enough, and it's like it doesn't stop. You know, like you start like having puberty,
You don't
and
stop
then
being
it just
annoying.
continues.
I can see that.
Well, no, like for women, like it just continues. Like men kind of grow into themselves. Like cis people grow into themselves. But I feel like as a woman, you just keep having periods. You just keep having hormones and problems. Like doesn't end until menopause or whatever. So you just keep getting tortured with the same symptoms you had when you were a teenager forever.
Mm-hmm. And I know after I went through puberty, I just didn't have a penis anymore. So I have no issues.
He's like a Ken doll.
It's not, it's like a Ken doll going on.
It just like retracted into your body.
Mm-hmm. It's gone now.
Yeah, if you're an adult male with a penis, like
seek medical attention.
Behind the times.
Yeah,
like
that's where they got that 4-hour rule. It's actually 4 years. If you stop puberty and you go 4 years and it hasn't just gone away, go see a doctor.
Yeah, now we do it like Navi style, like the Avatar. We just pair together.
People were mad about that, and they're like, "That's how they have sex." But then they also sit on the animals. You're like, it's also a different race. Like it's they're not
supposed to be
human,
more than like a sexual connection. From what I got, it's like they're connecting like at the mind.
I just never put that much thought into it, and I was just like, "Cool, blue people and a war. Let's do it."
And I've heard people complaining about the new movie. We're going to see it today, but I've heard people complaining about the new one, like critics and stuff, like, "Oh, it's a tired old trope. Like nothing much changes." Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's crazy. What people want."
Yeah, like the human.
They want the same
from
thing,
the trailer. What was it like? The humans came back to invade the world, and now they're just fighting again. And I'm like, wow, crazy.
I saw this review that was like, "Yeah, it's just like the same thing as the first movie. Like, what's the point?" And I mean, I don't know. It looks cool. Maybe that's just the point. Things can just exist to be cool.
We want new visual effects, and that way they can update the Avatar ride. So,
apparently
they're making an Avatar water ride.
Weaver is
you
one
mark
of their
my
kids.
words. What's up?
Apparently, like they have kids in this one, and apparently, Sigourney Weaver is one of the kids. But Sigourney Weaver is super old, and she played the lady from the first movie.
Yeah,
like
she died in the first movie and became part of the interconnected network.
Yeah, so now she's like one of their children.
Yeah, because they're reborn.
I'm told it's like an interesting choice.
It's not like an interesting choice. It's just a way to bring back her character, because they said in the last one like everyone's interconnected, and then they die and they're reborn. But it wasn't apparent in the last one, I don't think, if they were reborn as like animals or the Navi. So like I don't.
Yeah, so like they're Jake and whatever's kid, and like, but Sigourney Weaver is like, I don't know. She's like, what? Hey Siri, how old is Sigourney Weaver? Hey Siri, how old is Sigourney Weaver?
Technology. She's sitting at a computer and she's
73 years old.
Just decided to fucking Siri that shit instead of just typing. Then again, your keyboard is atrocious, so I applaud it.
It's doing its best it can.
Your keyboard? Certainly not because of you. There's like, if you take off all those keys and you were just like, let's look under the hood, you would just like open it and it would just like, you ever seen Flubber? Where it would just like stretch apart and just like slinky back together from just the grime and the dirt and the food and drinks that have been saturating in there, just stewing for years until some helpless ant came along and made you aware that there was that living inside. This is the silence of acceptance right now.
This is the silence of I don't want to talk about stuff like that.
I don't want to talk about stuff. No, we need to get you a new keyboard. Firstly, because I hate your keyboard. Secondly, because it's dirty.
I also hate my keyboard, but there's no cute keyboards available. And
there's no cute keyboards. That's true.
They need to be cute, and I don't want to buy all the keycaps and do it myself.
Yeah, what are there, like 50 of them? I don't know. How many keys are on a standard keyboard?
Hey Siri, how many keys are in American keyboards?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia. Each acoustic keyboard contains 88 keys.
88. I was closest.
Smaller arrangements have a minimum.
Oh my gosh.
My Siri's Irish, and he absolutely hates it.
I hate that voice. That's worse. It's worse than the sexy robot. I'm just letting you know now.
Hey, the robot's not that sexy until you put her voice in Japanese. They did something different in the Japanese.
I don't know if it's Japanese. Like, they might just be Mandarin. I have no idea.
No, I think one is Japanese and one is Mandarin.
There's no way to know. There's no way to tell. I have no way to guess.
It sounds like I just feel like I can tell.
I feel like I could actually find out. The background here is we got one of those little like self-cleaning robots for Black Friday because they were on sale. And I was like, yeah, less cleaning for me because I'm lazy. And the voice it has is like first of all, the English, or excuse me, the languages it has, you can only choose from 5 languages. You have French, Spanish, English, and then 2 that I don't know because they are only just like depicted as Chinese characters.
Yeah, they're like.
I was like, it's Mandarin. It could be Cantonese. Could be Japanese. It could be Korean. I have no idea because they are just a foreign language. I'm like, why put the name of the foreign language in a foreign language?
Well,
what sense does that make? Right? They're like, if you don't understand it, it's not for you. Anyway, but
do you have the manual?
I do somewhere, but we were coming up with a name for the robot because we felt like calling it the robot would just anger it when it ultimately joins Skynet and kills us all. So we decided, we've seen Frozen, and why are you smirking like that?
We didn't decide this. You named him, and I accepted.
Well, you thought it was a good idea. I don't just do things. But I was like, she came home one day, and I was like, oh, by the way, I named the robot. She goes, what is it? I said, his name's Hans. He said, why? And I said, well, you've seen Frozen. Hans is the bad guy in Frozen, and Hans sucks, and so does the vacuum. His name is Hans. But the issue is I cannot change the voice, so it is a female Hans. And that is the off-putting thing.
And she does sound super friendly, but he was like, she's got a sexy robot voice.
She's like, yeah, she's trying to be seduced about it. Is that
what you find sexy? Is that
she's just like, oh, you removed my dustbin. Like, that's what she said. I'm like, whoa.
That's not what she said.
And then I clean it out, and she's like, thanks for cleaning out my dustbin for me. Like, I'm like, all right, whoa.
And she has a little anime moan at the end, just for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you, man. Always following me around.
Trying to take my man.
She's following me around everywhere. Like, I'm letting you know. Like, it's.
You set the pattern, she goes in.
No, I said clean the rooms, and she's just like, where are you at? Like, that's the saying. Plus, I'm pretty sure you tried to kill her, so I'm pretty sure that she doesn't like you.
I did not do shit to that.
You did.
Have
you
ever
left.
Seen that movie,
You left.
House?
You left. I'd have. You left a wire on the ground and tried to strangle her on her first week on the job.
Okay,
that is some
I did
jealousy.
It one time.
Yeah, it only takes one time to kill somebody. All right.
I've never killed anybody in real life.
No, just attempted it on my artificial lover. It's fine. It's.
I think people would say that's valid reasoning.
It is. It would be if
you fell in love with a robot, I'd be like, I don't know, let it, just suck your dick off. Like, have fun, buddy.
Have fun. Like, oh, you're in love with that one? All right, well, whatever. No.
Like, good luck.
No, that would be too. No, that doesn't even sound pleasant.
Can anybody else like yawn through their nose?
Yeah, I think it's called breathing.
No, I taught myself to yawn through my nose because I had teachers in high school who like would get really upset if you yawned in class and be like, why are you yawning in my class? Am I that boring? Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. It's 7 a.m.
Can we see a demonstration of this yawning?
No, I just did it. That's why I was thinking about it.
All right, and go. Whoa. Some secretive shit there. Didn't even like get up on the mic. No one could hear it. But if you watched it,
yeah,
she was
I just
breathing.
Like push it out through my nose.
Push it out through my nose.
It makes my eyes water a little bit.
It makes like your throat go big. Like,
yeah.
It makes your eyes water? Wait a minute, what? Have you tried clenching your butthole?
Everything makes my eyes water. And no, I have not tried clenching my butthole. No, even
I
I
watched.
remember when we were in high school together. Like my eyes water every time I yawn, and you would be like, "Are you crying?" And I'd be like, "No." And you'd be like, "You're crying." And I'd be like, "No." Like my eyes are watering. Like legit. I do cry a lot, not this time. Yeah. I need more coffee. Not coffee.
Did you get that text from my sister as well? So, yeah, she did. She's having issues trying to get somebody to take her shift.
Ooh.
And it's right. That is some drama going on over there.
She's gonna be finding a new job if they keep that shit up.
That's fine. I don't think she likes that job anyway. Were you wearing glasses?
I just took them off.
Okay, I saw you like messing with your eye, and I was like, I swear she had glasses on like a minute ago.
Like, I like convince myself I don't need glasses, but like I'm blurry.
I'm blurry.
I saw this thing that said though a lot of neurodivergent people need glasses and don't realize it because like they don't understand that like how like how I've explained to you sometimes that it's like I can see like I can focus on it if I try. Apparently that's a really common thought process with neurodivergent people that they don't know that they're not supposed to focus their eyes in and out. Like you're just supposed to be able to see.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like try and push your eyes out of your head to focus on things
I can like focus and unfocus my eyes. So I always did that and I didn't know like that wasn't like a thing everybody did.
Yeah, because it strains your eyes and it like hurts you in the long term. Yeah.
I need to go get another eye doctor appointment.
Speaking of which, I still have not been called back by the
really?
Surgeons. Yeah. Or surgeon, is that their term? Surgeons? I don't know.
Optometrists?
No. Like the people.
Ophthalmologists?
No. The people who do LASIK. I think they're like eye surgeons.
They're some sort of surgeon. I don't know what it's called though.
Oh. They're eyeball surgeons. That's what they're called now. Eyeball cutter laser people surgeons.
The eyeball cutter people.
The eyeball laser stab cutter people.
He was a one.
Yeah, I gotta call them because it's been like a month and a half. Oh, it's been 2.5 months since I was told that they were going to call me, and I called them a month and a half ago before I had to leave on that trip, and they were like, "Yeah, they should be calling you any day now," and I just forgot about it because of all the drama on that trip. And I just thought about it and I'm like, wait a minute. They still have not called me.
Get on it.
I know.
You deserve to be able to see.
I know. It'll be nice. I'll have to get new blue light filtering glasses though.
Yeah, you can get those at like Target or Walmart though.
Yeah, but these ones look good on my face. But the ones without like prescription lenses in them are not too expensive. I'll just have to get new ones because obviously
they're like $10-$20 adjusting for inflation.
I don't know. I haven't looked recently because they never called me back, but but I will have to do that.
Ugh, we have to go do people-y things.
Yeah, you don't like talking to people, which is an interesting conundrum for your job choice.
Yeah, people say that all the time. Like everybody at work is like, "You're an extrovert," and I'm like,
no, they're paying me.
It's called masking, homie. I just like I'm a very different person at work, and I think it's why I struggle so much at home because it's like I can't be my best self sometimes at home because I have to put so much energy to being presentable at work and dealing with other people's problems and making decisions all day long, and it's really, really hard for me. I know that sounds stupid, but it really is hard for me to make a decision.
It may sound interesting to someone who doesn't live with you, but I see. We were talking about earlier. You walk in, and then you're just like, "Hello," and then you flip the switch, and you're just like, "I will kill anyone." Like that's the issue.
It's
right there. Like, okay.
I'm trying to like find the balance in between right now.
That's why you get home, and sorry to interrupt. That's why you get home. And you're just like, my mood is terrible. And I'm just like, have you tried vodka? And then you're like, I feel better. And I'm like, yeah.
I will say, I think one reason we work very well together as a couple is because even though like I'm too serious most of the time, like you don't give a shit. Like you'll just poke and prod me until I'm laughing or joking. And
wait a minute.
It's nice.
Did you we're a couple? What?
I thought we were just roommates.
I know. What is this? I'm gonna have to reevaluate my whole. Nope, it's done. I'm all right with it.
Oh no. What else do you want to talk about?
Beautiful segue. So, yeah, and I looked at her.
I don't know how long it's
She
been.
stared at me, and we talked a little. Everyone had to go pee. Do you have to pee? I feel like you're fidgeting more because you finished that coffee, and now you just have to pee.
I do need to use the restroom, yeah.
I told you. You don't even know. I'm good like that. I got telepathy in my.
You know me so well.
Like the cup hasn't come up in a while. She's been going at it, and nothing's been coming out. Nothing's been coming out, so I had to check.
You turn around, there's just like a puddle of piss.
That's what those aprons were for.
That's why I was making sounds. I was trying to clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of your pink keyboard, I'm great at transitions. The other day, like a week ago, I think, whenever it was, the light that's above you, it went out, right? And it was very awkward because it didn't go out when it was on, and we saw it. You know how like most lights, when you're just like,
oh my god, yeah, I know, that was so weird.
The light, you know, like, whoa.
Sorry.
I got like an echo from Mike all of a sudden. That was weird. Like it, whatever. Anyway, like, you know how you can tell when a light's out is like the light's on and then suddenly it turns off and no one's hit the switch and you're like, uh-oh, that wasn't a vampire in the closet, was it? No, the light just went off. And you're like, oh, the light's out. And you can flip the switch and it's not working. This light, it was on. We turned it off, went into the bedroom, and I was like, oh, I left my water out in the living room. I came back out and I flipped the switch and it just didn't turn on. And I was like, the fuck is happening? Like, it was very weird. I was almost never had that happen where the lights died while it's off. Like, it didn't make sense to me. And so
either.
it was like,
I was like, really, I was almost like offended that the light went out. I
you
feel like,
like, bitch, you were
like,
just working.
We just used you.
You just like put in your 2-week notice or just quit on the spot, huh?
And
anyway,
then the light is like, God, how tall is the ceiling? The light is so high up there. So I was like, yeah, I'm just putting it.
I think it's
maintenance.
Well, I wasn't gonna go buy a light bulb. Those light bulbs are more expensive anyway. But it's, I don't know, it's probably like 12.
Like the tree is 7 feet.
Yeah, I guess it's about 10 feet then. Anyway, like 10 feet in the air. So we put in a maintenance request, and the guy came over while I was working. So I closed all my stuff so he didn't see it. And so I was like, well, I can't work while he's changing out the light bulb, so I may as well talk with him. And he came up. Well, like I talked with him anyway, but like normally if he's doing stuff in the other room, I'll keep working, while I don't go in and like
they don't talk to me.
I don't go in and like watch them. That's just kind of awkward if you watch them. But like I couldn't.
When I'm here alone and you're not, and they're fixing something, they feel awkward because I'm a woman. So like it's just like a really awkward dead silence throughout the whole apartment. So I usually go on the patio just to like avoid it.
Yeah, yeah. But like if he's in the room, I can't work because I can't let him see what's on my screens and stuff. And so, like, I was like, well, I guess I'll just talk to him because I don't want to sit here and, like, watch YouTube videos next to him or whatever. And I was like, hey, how's your day going? He's like, oh, it's good. And then he looked over at your desk and he's like, keep in mind, like, this maintenance guy, we've seen him, I've talked to him, like, 2, 3 times maybe in the year that we've been here. He said, how's your day going? He goes, oh, it's pretty good. And then he looks down at your desk and he looks over at me and goes, oh, don't let my daughter in here. What?
I won't.
I was not. I was like, I don't even know your first name, sir. Like, what do you, like, how would I know you have? I was like, okay, I won't. I had no idea. Like, he was just like, you ever played curveball? And like threw it at me. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know how to respond to it. And he goes, I get he might have figured out that I was just like, sir, that was a weird thing to say. Because at this point, he's like on the ladder, right? And just like, he stops halfway up the ladder to look at me to have this conversation. And I was like, okay. And he goes, oh, no, she loves pink things. She has a pink keyboard and a pink mouse and a pink headset. But she doesn't have a pink chair yet, so I don't want her in here seeing this pink chair. I'll have to go get her a new pink chair. And I was like, that is good context. Thank you for that. And I was like, yeah. And this was right after we swapped out your desk, your old pink one for the new like light gray one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm convincing her to get rid of her pink stuff too. We used to have a pink desk. He goes, oh no, can't have that much pink in my house. And I was like, yep, me neither. Not anymore. We're downgrading.
I love pink, but it's not my favorite color, so I was just kind of getting tired of it. Like if I had like a dark blue, like a royal blue or like a midnight blue desk.
See,
like,
but dark blue would be dangerous for you though, because at any given point you would just never see the Coke spill. It would just be, you know. Like it's hard for me on the like I have a black desk. It's hard for me to see like things that I've spilled on here too, unless they're like crumbs or like light colored things, you know, obviously.
Yeah, mine's like a light gray. I think it almost kind of matches the microphone a little bit. But it's pretty easy to see when stuff's on it, and the material's easy to wipe down.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
we have the same desk. If you guys don't know,
yeah, we got matching desks from IKEA, just 2 different colors. I don't remember the name.
I can't wait until we have enough money to afford like a second bedroom, because I keep seeing all these cute couple gaming desk setups. Yeah, like so we could have another office and then or have an office, and then we could have like a cute gamer couples gaming setup.
Right now we have a living room and it's two
we don't
desks
have a dining
separated
table
by a living room. We don't need a dining table. We sit and watch Wednesday, which you won't let me watch, and then that's it. Let me get here's the name of the desk. Utesplar. Utesplar. Utespelare. Utesplar.
It's from IKEA, if you had not guessed from the name.
They are from IKEA. They're actually very sturdy, and I like it a lot. It's a good size. Really it's good organized. It comes with a little like cable management, like organization thing.
That's my favorite part of the desk.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's super handy.
It's like a mesh thing. Like there's two sides to the desk, like the part where your stuff goes, and then like a back metal rack, and in between it there's like this little mesh trench, basically. Yeah, like Mariana's Trench, but made of mesh.
It's a little mesh trench.
But it's great, and Jordan did all my cable management for me, so I didn't have to.
We can't trust you with organizing things. It's just not in our budget.
Silly.
Oh man, did I tell you when I was going out of town the other week, my experience getting gas on the way out there? So
I feel like you did, but I don't remember.
So I had to drive, I think it's like 200 miles to get to this thing for work. And I was like, I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning. So I had to leave here at just before 3. So that I could get gas and then go, because I just love waking up an extra 10 minutes early to go get gas. And after this, I am debating just not doing that anymore and getting gas the night before. So what happened was the gas station on the corner where we normally go, right? It had lowered its gas prices. It was like, it's usually like the first, I don't know if it's just like the trendsetter and every other gas station is jealous of it, or he just gets like the news a day before of everybody else. But like, no matter whether the gas prices are going up or down, it always changes first. So it'll go down, and then every other gas station will go down, or it'll go up, and then every other gas station goes up in price. And I don't understand that, but it went down by like 10 cents a gallon before most of the other gas stations around us. Mm-hmm. So I went to this gas station. It was about 2:45 in the morning, and the first pump, it accepted my card. It didn't. I put in the card and it said, no, try again. And then I put in my credit card again. And it said, no, try again. And I was like, fuck it, I will use my debit card. I put in the debit card and it was like, thank you for buying gas. And I grabbed the nozzle and I put it in the car, and then I hit the button and it said, no gas at this pump. And I went, maybe something to tell people before they try and buy it, you know?
Yeah.
And I went, fine. And I put it back in and I closed it. And I was like, you know what? I'm already here. I drove around the building to the other pump. I did the same thing. I put it in. I just picked it up and hit the button this time. Didn't even put it in the car. I was like, I don't believe you're going to have gas for me. Put it in the car, hit the button, and it said no gas. And I went, yeah, that's what I figured. Got back in the car, drove off. And I was like, I know of another gas station that's on the way. It's a little bit more expensive, but we could do it. Stopped at this gas station. They had 4 sets of pumps, like in a line. So like 8, one on each side, you know. I stop at this far out the exterior one because it's closest to me. I stop there, get out of the car, look up, the screen's off. And I was like, like 3 pumps in a row, you're going to tell me I'm having this issue with? And I was like, son of a bitch. Then I drive to the middle set, like the middle set of pumps, and I start going. And as I getting out of the car, another car pulls into the other exterior pump. She gets out, starts pumping or starts hitting buttons. I look over, her screen's off, and I was like, is she going to get the screen to turn on? Like maybe she knows the code to turn on the screens. She's hitting buttons in like what looks like an order, like not random, you know? She's like beep, 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 beep. And I was like, she's got the code. No, she got back in her car after like a minute and was just like, this isn't working. Drove to the other set of the middle ones because I guess she saw me there. So now it's her, like the pump, her car, my car, and then the pump I'm at. And I'm sitting there filling up. And her car was a little bit smaller than mine, so or she needed less gas or something. So she starts pumping gas, and so we're both standing there at 3 a.m. No one else is around. The lights in the store weren't on. I'm like, I don't even know if the store was open, which is kind of weird. Like they might have just been on emergency power. I don't know. So like
they're not like 24 hours here for some reason.
No, but like some gas station. Anyway, so we're sitting there 3 a.m, almost middle of nowhere. Like there's no neighborhoods around. You can like, and the whole thing is surrounded by trees. So I'm like, no one's here. And she looks at me and I look at her and she goes, outside one was off. And I said, yeah, so was that one over there. And then she goes, at least these ones work. And then we both got back in the car and drove off in like opposite directions. And I was like, good talk, 3 a.m, stranger.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Some experiences have to be shared. It's like when you're in a really long line at a store or something, and you look around, and you're like, "Oh man, that's a long line." And the other person's like, "Yeah, it is." You know, like
yeah, it was super weird. I was like, I don't know what was going on there, but it was crazy. And then I drove there in the middle of the morning, and there was no other issues, which was
proud of you.
I know, right? Drove all the way there, did things, drove all the way back.
And I'm proud of us. We did this podcast today.
We did. Speaking of which, it's about time we wrap it up. This episode will be coming out.
Everyone should.
This episode is coming out on Sunday, December 18th. We are pre-recording this one. We're going to try and do some live podcasts. We just couldn't get it arranged in time this weekend.
There's just a lot going on to take care of right now.
Yeah, there's just a lot. So this one's coming out on the 18th.
Let's start a podcast.
This one's coming out on the 18th. We'll be recording another episode here in the next couple of days. It's coming out on the 25th on Christmas. And then from then on, we'll see how the new year goes. We're planning on putting these episodes out every week. We're trying to do live on Saturdays and upload it on Sundays. So if you would like to see us, come back and hang out with us, do all that fun stuff. Make sure you watch her Twitter, maybe my Twitter, the channel's Twitter, all that fun stuff. We'll be putting updates on there as well as episodes. You can go to the website. The episodes should be on there on Sundays. What's up?
I'm just excited.
It's
our first podcast episode.
Just giving episode. Yeah. Just giving information.
Twitter. I'm always there.
Yeah. And we will be working on, like I said, uploading this to all your favorite podcasting websites. So make sure to follow in there as well. We appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with us today or whenever you get around to listening. Have a good one.